Machintosh, the month where we post all kinds of stuff about vintage Macs and promote the hobby and etc. I'll put some links to the Marchintosh website below. I hope this is still valid for Marchintosh. I wanted to look at some later stuff. I feel like people don't really talk about PowerPC that much. Um, so we're looking at later era. So in my last video, I said I would look at March 2000, but I can't find March 2000 in my archive. Unfortunately, I seem to be missing it, and I didn't want to have to worry about digging through the internet to find it. It's probably easy to find, but whatever. Um, so I decided to go straight to March 2001. And already just looking at this cover, wow, what a world of difference compared to March 1998, huh? That's what, 3 years? 3 years different? I would have been a senior in high school. And yeah, so bam, right on the cover. Let's get started. So, right on the cover, titanium PowerBook G4. It looks like today's PowerBooks, right? There's not much different. It looks almost exactly like no, it's not today's PowerBooks. Today's MacBook Pros. Sorry. Certainly the new MacBook Pro Center, but it's basically the same computer. And not only that, but it's basically the same computer as just about every single other manufacturer right now. And I think it's kind of amazing to think that this design just really laid the template for what is a laptop, you know? It's basically the form of a laptop. But yeah, only 5.3 pounds, which sounds incredibly heavy today. But other than that, it's really, look, the cover is clean. There's no other graphics. I think the surrealism might be going out. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at this issue in advance like I did the other one. So we're going to be looking at it together. So let's take a look. Bam, right off. The Harman Kardon sound sticks. I mean, they're just beautiful. I think they still make them. If they don't still make them, they still made them fairly recently. You could get these for quite a long time. A lot of people have these for the Macs, and they look amazing. I wish I had one. I wish I had one. They look great. Still do. This is, 24 years later. They look fantastic. All right, and we're still talking about printers. We're still talking about printers. At least this ad is for printers and scanners. And is that a fax machine? It's a multi-function printer that looks a lot like a fax machine. Okay. All right. All right. So first off, just looking at the table of contents. So stuff looks different, design-wise. The graphics are a little less surreal and a little more realistic. I say that. Look over here. What the heck it says? Here we go. Again, lots of very familiar names here. Here's Jason Snell. Of course, he has sixcolors.com. Now Christopher Breen's still there. Lots of people that are still very much in the Apple world, at least the Apple review world. But the ads so far, we're still seeing printer ads, but it seems a little nicer, I guess. So a little cleaner design. We'll see. Printers were just a big deal, I guess. All right, backup solutions. So the last episode, we were looking at March 1998. And we were seeing stuff like, okay, here's a SideQuest drive for like 1.5 gigabytes. So here is a FireWire drive for 30 gigabytes. I guess it's a FireWire hard drive? Yeah. What's a tape drive? What is this? I think it might be a tape drive. Yeah, it's a FireWire tape drive. But it's still 30 gigabytes. What a huge list. Alright, here we go. Okay. So we saw this ad in the last issue. But look how different it is compared to last time. This is clean. It's not, there's not PCs everywhere. It's clean, it's simple. Here's an iMac, complete with color matched things, and yeah. So it's just it's interesting to see the way that ads are changing and design is changing in just a couple of years. Oh, we're in the new millennium now, so everything has to be better. Um, and here you can see a perfect example of, like, wow, look how much Apple's design has shifted. In those 3 years, we've got the iMac, the G4 Cube, the iBook, and the Power Mac G4. Just like radical design shift. I wish we would see that now. We haven't really had a design shift at Apple. Oh God, it's got to be over a decade now. I mean, they have new products, but like, a MacBook Pro looks like a PowerBook G4, and so does every other laptop. And I guess maybe the MacBook Air, the wedge-shaped MacBook Air, was kind of different, but now that's gone back to the slab, that the G4 had. So there hasn't been like a radical design shift like that in really anything in computing in a while, and that makes me kind of sad. That makes me kind of sad. I wish people would push themselves and do some more crazy stuff again, because the crazy stuff was fun. Maybe it wasn't great, maybe it wasn't a good product, but it was fun. Back, let's see, lots of stuff for FireWire. FireWire is a big deal in the Mac world. So, oh yeah, so here we are. We're talking about the OS 10 public beta. Let's see. So this is March 2001. I don't think the first version of OS 10 was out yet. I can't remember. Well, I guess is the beta out? The public beta out? Yeah. So people are talking about the beta. So, wow, okay. David Pogue is reckless and irresponsible to dismiss the threat that increasingly invasive electronic surveillance plays in our lives. In an age when our children are subjected to ads in the classroom, in their textbooks, and on the playing field, we shouldn't be asking for, quote, targeted web ads. We should be demanding less advertising. So, wow, this resonates. That hasn't changed in 24 years at all. Not at all. Wow, that's weird. Okay, here's another Macromedia ad. Oh, it's so Macromedia Dreamweaver is so pervasive that apparently they now put Dreamweaver copies of Dreamweaver just in hotel rooms now, just like Bibles. Actually, that'd be fantastic. Can you imagine you go to a hotel and you get a free several $100 piece of software? That sounds great. Let's do that. All right, here we have more portable drives. This is for the Lacy Pocket CD-RW with USB and FireWire. It's amazing that we've gone from absolutely no mention of USB to here is USB virtually everywhere. So yeah, these portable drives are a big deal. I remember, when I got, let me go back to that. When I got my first rewritable CD drive, that was amazing. Just the idea that, it wasn't just music. It was like, wow, I have 650 megabytes. I can put all kinds of stuff on this disc, And I had a rewritable drive, and so I did a lot of stuff with rewritable things, and that was so weird because it was like, well, you can't close the session, and I don't know. It always felt like something would probably break. I wonder how still have some of those discs, and sometime I might, get those out again and see if you can even read them anymore. I don't know how many of those has come to disc rot over the years. I hope some of them are still alive. But that was just a world of difference. So, for context, at the time, I had a PC. I guess it was my second laptop, I believe, at the time. It was an HP. My dad was a really big HP fan, so he always bought me uh, HP. No, wait, I'm wrong. No, it was a compact. It was a compact. So yeah, Dad liked compact because he's like, well, they're made in Houston, they're made in the USA. And I'm kind of like, yeah, okay. But of course, that was before compact was bought by HP, so they were their own thing, and it was a computer. I want to say the one I had at the time had this cool thing where you could put a CD in the drive and flick a switch, and uh, you could actually listen to CDs while the computer was completely off. So it was just a built-in CD player. So that was cool because, here you have your laptop, you have a portable CD player. Anyway, sorry, I got lost memories there. Let's keep on going. So more printers. What's this? A color laser? Yeah, Xerox. I don't think we saw much Xerox in the last issue. So, interesting. Again, people emphasizing like, look at all the detail we capture in the printer. I mean, I can't think of the last time that I cared about something that I got in the office that was, oh, look at the detail in this picture. The details for online, printer, whatever. That's just a hard copy. But I don't know. I don't know. The year ahead, the Back to the Future, predicting, predicting stuff. So, everybody says everything depends on the success of OS 10. Um, so, let's see. Carbonized applications such as Microsoft Office 2001 will be the real story. OS 10 won't have much real meaning to most users until Office ships as a set of native apps. I mean, that's true. The other, a couple years ago, I went back and I installed, uh, let's see, 10.2? Yeah, 10.2, on my iMac G3 just to kind of play around with it. I think it was the iMac. Yeah. And there's not a lot you can do. There's just not that much that you can actually do with it. Oh, no, the iBook, sorry. And, there's some applications and everything, but uh, it definitely was missing stuff. It's a miracle that we got it shipped out and it became what it is. We're effectively still using OS 10 today. It's called, OS, what are we on, 15 now? 15, 16? I don't remember. I'm a couple behind because my computer's old. But, um, it's, uh, I think it's remarkable that not only are we still using that, but it ended up being like the thing, a really good thing. Uh, yeah, excuse me. So, the year in Macs. This is a good real refresher. Let's see. January 2000 is when Steve Jobs actually takes the CEO job as a permanent thing, not interim. I didn't realize it was that late. I thought it was closer to 98, but okay. Uh, Macworld Expo, Jobs unveils Apple's iTools. So iTools was basically like kind of what iCloud is now, except back in the year 2000, I guess. So I never used it at the time. So um, new iBooks, new PowerBooks, and yeah, let's see what else is here. There's a nice little timeline. Uh, oh, okay, here we go. June 2000. Judge Thomas Penfield Jackson orders Microsoft to be split in two. So, what actually happened with that? I'm admittedly not as familiar with Microsoft history you know, after the early PC stuff. Um, and so, what did happen with that? Because it doesn't seem to have affected the company at all. I guess they were supposed to split into two different divisions, one for operating systems and one for, well, I guess, web browsing. I don't know, but in practice, it doesn't seem like that at all. It actually gives me a little bit of hope for, Apple's own Justice Department investigation, which, given our current administration, who knows what's going to happen with that? Might just be thrown out. Uh, but it gives me hope in Apple's own investigation that they won't split Apple up, because what is it gonna do? We'll just make a bunch of shell companies or whatever, and it'll be business as usual. Uh, but I don't want to get into politics. But yeah, I've forgotten that happened in 2000. Oh, okay. Ooh, this is actually a little bit. This happened in June 2000. This is actually a big deal. A little bit of blurb here. It says Microsoft purchases longtime Macintosh gaming developer Bungie. So Bungie, the people that make Halo, used to be a Mac only group. They made the predecessor to Halo's on the Mac called Marathon, and it was a first person shooter type of game, and a really cool game. But Halo was developed on a Power Mac. And in fact, a bunch of the early Xbox development units were basically just Power Mac G5s. Um, and when they first showed Halo off, it was supposed to be a Mac game. And then Microsoft came in and bought it and made Steve Jobs very mad. And we all know where that went for Microsoft. Ended up being huge thing. Certainly, I don't think the Xbox would have been successful without Halo. I think Halo was pretty much essential to the Xbox success. So just it's fascinating how what gets a tiny little mention down here ends up being a huge uh, a huge deal in the future. And oh, here's the iBook Lime. That's not worth a lot of money these days. They didn't sell very many of them. And let's see. Apple stock plunges by 52% in one day. Wow, that must have been awful. I really wish I would have bought stock at that time. Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. October 2000, a Mac version of Napster debuts. I never used Napster. I'm not saying that to be, like stuck up or anything and claim that I was better than anybody else by not using it. I never used it. It was just a world that was completely unknown to me. And we had a huge CD collection. I was not really into a lot of the music that you would find on Napster. I mean, I guess you would find almost everything on Napster, but I just wasn't into uh, popular contemporary music, and so it wasn't something that was really that important to me. I had tons of Broadway soundtracks and stuff, and I was also really into classic rock like the Who and stuff like Woodstock. Um, so I really missed out on that. I wish I could go back in time and pirate some music, just for the just for the experience of it at the time, because it certainly changed everything really about music. All right, we need to move on. Sorry. So another weird ad. Oh, I guess the surrealist stuff isn't quite over with yet. Um, Knock knock, can your imagination come out to play? Luckily, my imagination is not a creepy doll that lives in my head. At least I hope it's not. Yeah, moving on from that. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. Anything of note here? Not really. Alright, here we go. Wow. The titanium PowerBook. I mean, it still looks amazing. Look at the bezel. Look how thin the bezel is. The bezels on my MacBook Air are bigger than that. I think people forget how small they were at the time. Here's a quote from Jobs. We have the most powerful notebooks in the world, but Sony has the sex appeal. We want both. Apple CEO Steve Jobs. That is what an interesting quote in context. So Sony actually helped design the first 100 series PowerBooks. They were designed by Sony, and they were sold. They were made by Apple and so on. But Sony did the design, and so they're actually really instrumental in the history of Macintosh laptops. Because before the PowerBooks there was a Mac Portable, and I don't think you can. Thank God that didn't become the standard, because we'd be lugging around briefcases now. People were talking about how thin they are, even though they're giant luggable bricks. So for Jobs to say that about Sony um, is interesting, but also Sony's not really that big of a deal in consumer electronics anymore. At least they're not really on my radar. They don't. Do they make anything consumer electronics now? I don't know. They really made some really innovative computers. Their Violine was really cool and had some different thoughts going on, and that was really cool. But I can't say that I can think of anything that Sony makes. That's like sex appeal. I guess the PS5 is sex appeal. But as far as like other consumer electronics, I can't think of much. I guess a lot of consumer electronics have gone away. There's no standalone music players. There's no anything. It's all just the computer now. So I don't know. I don't know. All right. Let's see here. March 24th is X Day. We're gonna ship OS 10 1.0, I guess. Yeah, OS 10 10.0. So um, that would have been a major shift in 2001. But again, a lot of people didn't do much with it. But let's look over here on the right. First came iMovie, which brought easy video editing to the masses. Now here's iTunes, another slick, free Apple program. This one devoted to MP3 playing and CD burning. Look at this brushed metal. It looks beautiful. Early version of iTunes. So iTunes was actually built off of, let's see, what was it? I was about to say Music Match, but that's not right. Well, anyway, they bought some other company. I can't remember the name of it right now. And built iTunes off of this. Now, keep in point, this is March of 2001. The iPod was not introduced until September of 2001. That's right. Yeah, the iPod was introduced in September of 2001 of all times. God. But here's just a little bit. Here's iTunes. I remember the early ads for iTunes were basically like rip, mix, burn. They really wanted you to rip your audio CDs and burn them. It wasn't download Napster stuff. I mean, that's what everybody did, but they wanted you to rip the stuff you already had, and it was really good at that. I remember when I got my first iPod. I believe it was iTunes 4 at the time, and yeah, I spent like a couple of days ripping my entire collection, and uh, just the feeling of having your entire library with you at one time. It was revolutionary. It was revolutionary. All right, here we go. Let's see. Macworld editors choose the best products and websites of the past year. So let's see. Here's another ad for Adobe. Symantec. Ugh, yeah, not gonna talk. Not gonna do that. I don't know if there's anything much to comment on at this point. The Impact Award. 1999 was the year of the MP3. Then 2000 was surely the year that internet file sharing got its turn in the limelight. Nothing had a bigger impact on file sharing technology than Napster. So, yeah, another thing with Napster. Again, I totally missed the boat on that. Totally missed the boat. The hardware product of the year is the iBook Special Edition with FireWire. I really wish I had one of the toilet seat iBooks with FireWire, because there's so much more you can do with FireWire, because you can do, iPod stuff with it. As opposed to, the earlier iBooks with just USB. So, it would have been really, really nice at the time. Really nice. What the heck? I don't know, weird ads. Ads are weird. What is this? Gimme Radeon! It's for a graphics card from ATI. Okay, sure. I never really paid much attention to that. I did most of my gaming, on a Nintendo console, so I wasn't playing the Nintendo 64 at the time. I just wasn't PC gaming just wasn't on my radar at all. That era kind of ended with TIE Fighter for me. That was the last big PC game that I played, and it was fantastic. But for whatever reason, I just started playing console games more and more. So here we go. The best game of the year, the winner is The Sims. So this is actually, they just came out with the 25th anniversary edition of The Sims, and of Sims 1. And so I can't believe that it's still around after 25 years, but B, they're only on Sims 4. And Sims 4 has been out for over a decade now. And from what I understand, they're not even going to make a Sims 5. They're just going to keep building Sims 4 stuff. So that's kind of disappointing. But, okay, let's keep on going here. Let's see. More storage stuff. Oh, here we go. Technology of the year. Airport, a shockingly low price. Apple transformed into wireless technology standard with a daunting name, 802.11. It's crazy to think of that as daunting. You know, we're so used to it now. It's just whatever. Anyway, yeah, $299 for airport. This would have been 802.11b for the first airport. And so yeah, you got to buy the base station for $299. Then you got to buy the card for $99. But then you have wireless internet, and wireless internet. I'm trying to remember when I had Wi-Fi. I'm pretty sure I had Wi-Fi in college, but they didn't have any of the dorms wired for Wi-Fi. They had some of the classrooms with Wi-Fi, but it was still early days for Wi-Fi, and now it's just everywhere. Everywhere. Alright, the Macworld Web Awards. So it's our favorite website. So I really wish they had screenshots of these websites. Let me just kind of look through any of them I even recognize. HowStuffWorks.com. That's still a thing, I think. And let's see, iParenting. I doubt that's still there. So Epicurious, that's a big one. That was there for a long time. Let's see. I bet a lot of these websites are still around in some form or another. But, Apple Fritter, that's still around. That's still around. Let's see here. Oh, searching. Here we go. Google. Google.com. Searches more than 1 billion URLs. Wow, if only we could go back in time and warn them, right? Oh, man. DVD review. Reviewing players. Yeah, DVDs, I guess we're just taking off in 2001. Yeah, I think we got our first player in 2001. So they were so cool. It was so cool to just pop in this little disc and you watch a movie. And now it seems like nothing, but it was cool at the time. Alright, web design for both sides of the brain is about Dreamweaver. And again with the surrealist stuff. Nothing much of note here. FD, this is a Sony Trinitron. Dude, some of the best, it's the best monitors you could buy. This is 16 by 10. 16 by 10 double page display. Man, that probably looked cool. About pop-up menus, don't need to do that. How to with Excel. Here we go. Some content is hard to update. I hope you didn't get a Vote Dukakis tattoo. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, these are boring how-to articles. The Canon ELPH. Like, these little cameras, they were so cool. They were just this tiny little thing. And, I think I said in the last one, I was talking about how, when we were making digital cameras and they were trying out different stuff. And I really appreciate, when like stuff like this, the Canon ELPH, Oh, okay, it's digital. We could just make it tiny because there's no film, right? So we can just make it tiny, and that's the kind of innovation that caught on. That actually ended up being a good thing. Let's see, Mac 911. Yeah, again, everybody's still in OS 9 at this point, so it still has this kind of, I guess, old world feel. So what you would say is an accounting package, and reviewing printers, reviewing graphics card. You can definitely say that the outline of this magazine, the layout of it, and everything is a lot cleaner than the 1998 one. So it's different. It's different. Here we go. A FireWire 6-port hub. So FireWire was like USB. You could have a hub. You plug in once and then you know uh, have a hub for a whole bunch of different devices. And remember, FireWire was way faster than USB because USB 2 wasn't out at the time. It was just the 1.1, I think. So, Netscape, latest version of browser frustrates users, offers few useful features. Wow, it only got 2 mice. 2 mice for that version of Netscape. Of course, Netscape went away pretty quick after that, I think. So, you haven't seen many game ads in this one. Maybe there's some more ads later, but I haven't seen. I don't think there's any game ads so far yet. Uh, let's see. Another Digicam. Stuff It Deluxe. Man, Stuff It Expander. Sorry, Stuff It Expander. That used to be. If you do anything with classic Macs today, you know what Stuff It Expander is. So many archives are in that format. And I think they've just gone away. I don't think anyone does anything with that anymore. But of course, you can still use the old software. But invaluable. If you do anything with classic Macs, you're gonna need it. I know I believe it's the Macpaw, the Ukrainian company, Macpaw, that have a software called the Unarchiver, and that can unpack stuff. It's expander files, and that's what I use nowadays. I think your kids are safe on the net. Think again. Oh man, if only you knew the stuff that was out there now. Oh wow. Okay, let's see here. Another thing with Netscape. And, what the heck is this? This is USB Watchdog? What is this? The Mac server absolutely has to stay running through the range. What is this? It says add-on for USB capable Macs that automatically detects an OS or application crap, and then it restarts your server or the failed application. So it's like it's a hardware add-on? That's wild. That's random. Alright. Oh, okay, here we go. The Game Room with Andy Anako. He's not a person who's been around for everywhere. Oh, here. Ooh, we're talking about emulation. Ooh. Let's talk about Mac MAME. And like, oh no, is this legal? No, it's not legal, but I mean, everybody does it now, so. Yeah, emulating stuff. I think it's interesting they're talking about an emulation as like the gaming thing. I still have not seen where are the game ads. Here's the advertising index. I haven't seen any game ads. Here we go, Mac Mall. Same deal. The prices are cheaper now. Prices are coming down some. So yeah, let's take a look at this stuff. We've got these Sony digital camera over here, and those sound sticks. Those are $200. They're really good. Really good pricing for that. PowerMac G4 Cube for $14.94. The way collecting is going right now, I might have to pay that much to get one nowadays. I still would really like one of those things. Again, the iBook, the Lime, and here's the old PowerBooks before the titanium models. They look really cool. They do look really cool. I've got one of these. I think I've got the bronze keyboard one. I can't remember what the name of that model is, but oh, look at this over here. I bought desktop Firewater video camera, and I guess you're supposed to put that on your monitor. Like, so my parents bought me a webcam. I think it was a Logitech. They bought me a webcam to take with me to college, and we ended up setting up this piece of software where you could basically do video calls, but the bandwidth wasn't really quite there yet, and so it was kind of hard to finagle, you know. But we tried, we tried, and then my webcam pretty much just sat in a box for a couple of years, and eventually when I got into Macs, I got the iSight, the original iSight, the second, the separate hardware iSight, which is still, I think, one of the coolest little design things that Apple's ever made. It's a really, really nice looking camera, and uh, that worked much better, but still didn't really do anything. I don't think it was really until FaceTime that video calling became a thing. And I mean, to me nowadays, with the automatic captions, I'm hard of hearing. I wear hearing aids, and so with the automatic caption stuff, FaceTime is like invaluable now. So it's weird to see this little camera here, $150. All right, let's keep going. Here we go, iMacs. I really love the iMacs when they came out. I think it was one of the first things I saw that was like, wow, this is different. I also I had a new Beetle at the time, and so it was kind of like, oh, the iMac and the new Beetle, they all came out in 1998. And so that felt like the future of design, of where things were going in life, everything. And yeah, $7.99. That's not a bad price. Extra free 60 more 4 megabytes of RAM. And that's not bad. That's still pretty cheap to what you can get today. Office 2001 upgrade as low as $250. Like, that's God. Why would you pay that much money for Office? Here we go. Here's some games. We got The Sims and Tomb Raider 2. Tomb Raider 2 is only $5.99. Wow. Wow. Blowout pricing. I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. Oh, okay. Way over here in the bottom right hand corner, the Zip 250. So they tried to update the zip disk. Remember, the original zip was 100 megabytes, and I tried to update it, but it was right as USB came out, and just nobody really bought into it. Yeah. Here's a external floppy drive with all these different color panels, so you can match your iMac. I love that. I wish they would bring more colors back. I thought they were going to do that when Apple released the iMac in different colors. I thought they were going to make the new MacBook Airs in different colors, but they didn't. And it was really it was sad. It was sad. I wish they had done that. Still selling the Cube. It's OS 10 ready. That was a big deal, of course, right now. And yeah, let's see here. These PowerBooks do look good. They look good. They have 2 FireWire ports. Oh, here we go. These Canon professional cameras. A friend of mine had one of these. Mini digital video camcorder. Man, they were hot stuff. Got some good video out of that. Let's see here. Another iMac. So, the little visors over here. So, made by Handspring. So they run Palm OS. They licensed out the OS, and I think a lot of people had those for a long time. They just sort of went away, and now everybody has an iPhone, so nobody needs anything like that anymore. But iBooks, and here's some Sony digital camera, the Cyber Shots with this giant lens on the front. And I always thought that looked weird, but I guess it was nice. And yeah, no game ads over here. Introduce character. So I don't know anyone in business that would have an iBook. I mean, I guess people did it, but It just doesn't seem like a very business-focused laptop. It was a consumer laptop, and that's what it was supposed to be. CDW's, of course, turn around. Oh, so this is the solid Apple logo. I don't remember when that was introduced, but uh, done away with the rainbow. Uh, more drives and text and text and text and text. Welcome to the what is this? The OS 10 showcase. What is this? Uh, Hottest products built especially to take advantage of the new operating system. Let's take a look at this stuff. This is just, are you carbonized? Place your ad an OS 10 showcase today. So, Carbon was like what, you built your OS 10 apps, and so that's what they're talking about is getting everything built on that. More webcams with FireWire. I think, all the stuff like webcams, it was just a decade too early, The bandwidth wasn't there. The hardware wasn't bad, but the bandwidth wasn't there. FireWire to your computer. Wish I had. My first computer that had FireWire had that Sony iLink thing, It was like 4-pin FireWire. And I was very lucky that my computer had that when I got my iPod, so I could, sync my iPod with it. But it wasn't until I got a Mac that I had real FireWire. And some weird looking keyboards over here. Are these clear? Everything used to be clear. Oh, here's something. I haven't seen this before. What is this? The G riser? You're supposed to put your Power Mac on that, so it raises them off the floor and reduces dust intake and improves airflow. I mean, I guess that's, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Griffin iMac. I have one of these tucked away somewhere for a long time until some of the new, hobbyist hardware projects came out. For a long time, that was one of the only ways to use an ADB keyboard on your USB thing. So you could plug in, the Apple Extended 2, which is like the basically the Apple's equivalent of the IBM Model F. And, you could plug that in and use it with a USB machine. I think it still works with modern machines. Yeah, so those were pretty hot with hobbyists for a while before somebody came out with their own. Lots of USB products and stuff like that. Let's see. Rack mount your G4. Wow, look at this thing. What the heck? Put the G4 in a rack. That just seems wrong. That just seems wrong. Very weird. That is weird. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of data recovery. I don't remember seeing data recovery in the last issue that we looked at. So that might be kind of a new kind of business, that's coming out with stuff breaking down. More website hosting. Oh, here we go. Cameras. So we were on the Mavic FD73. That's what I had. I had an FD71. And I think the CD1000 came out not too long after this. But all these were still floppy disk cameras at the time. So, Big Orange Technologies. Yeah, good stuff. There's a little penguin over there. Academic discounts. Academic Superstore. Get, let's see. Flash 5 for $100. Flash. What else? Well, a lot of this is, starting to get repetitive. It's basically the same kind of stuff. But you can definitely see, how stuff shifted and changed. in just a couple of years, just design-wise, everything looks almost radically different. Um, I think I don't think people give Apple enough credit for. I mean, it's hard to say whether the iMac and the iBook and the Power Mac G3 and that design, whether that really shifted design and other things, but you could definitely say that they were on top of where design was going, in the world, outside of the computer world. I think we're back into the magazine part now. Let's see. Amazon.com keeps fiddling with the formula. Oh, well, dude, man, if only you knew. If only you knew. Is this it? Is this it? Another Kensington ad? I think it is. Another ad for a mouse. Trackball. And I guess that marks the end. Yep, that's it for March 2001. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching the entire thing, and thank you for listening to my rambling memories. These are fun to make. They're fun to look through these old magazines and look at how stuff's changed, and little blurbs like that stuff about Microsoft buying Bungie, and stuff that, wow, this had like wide-ranging ramifications in history, and at the time it was just a little blurb. It's fun to look back and reflect on that. Anyway, again, thank you for watching to the end of the video. Check out everybody else's stuff for Marchintosh. I'll put a link in the description to the Marchintosh website so you can check that out. And I might try to have another video. I'm not quite sure yet. I've been messing around with Mini VMac on my computer on my current Mac, so I might do some stuff with Mini VMac and make a video about that. So we'll just see. We'll see where stuff goes. Anyway, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.